Oh my God, yes. I think it's going to work. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 and welcome. Um, wow. That is some laggy ass delay here on the webcam. Damn. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that. Oh, and it's red, it's green. Shit. This should be working. I'm streaming at you guys and 720, I believe. Okay, there it is. No, we're good. Okay, it's green again. All right, let's see. All right, so I'm actually not hardwired. I'm on the Wi-Fi, but I've got really strong, fast Wi-Fi. Jupiter Gatling's like, are you from your phone? No, this is not from my phone. I'm doing this. I'm doing this on my laptop because, of course, OBS is on my laptop here. But yeah, that is like some crazy. I'm gonna try something. The webcam. I'm gonna. I guess this trick seems to work. We're gonna go to there, and then we're gonna go back to here. And does that fix the problem? Let's see here. Oh yeah, it does. Okay then. I mean, we'll see. It might slip up again, but I just reloaded the webcam into the OBS, and oh, it's slipping again. Well, you know what? For the most part, um, weird. Clap. No, yeah, that is that is some hella delay. I could always go into the built-in microphone, and let's see, because that's where the audio is coming from. And let's see if we can maybe, I wonder if this is possible. Let's see if we can just, where's Gladalord? He nailed it so well with how many milliseconds I was off last time. Let's see if this fixes anything. Does it? Clap. Oh no, no, that's just as bad. We might just be like, well, fuck it, whatever. We don't want it. We don't even need to see your face, Adriana, because you are gonna you are going to show us your damn house. Yeah, there should be emote. Okay, someone throw some emotes up. Let me see if the emote fireworks work. So basically, you guys, hey, yeah, they do. It's a cute stream. Woo! Okay, so I'm just gonna talk like this, and that way you guys won't notice that my voice is coming at you completely out of sync. And all right. That's so weird. Okay, so this is the exact same live streaming setup that I had when I did Mashup Talk on the road back in the summer, back in July. I did a little mini RV isolation vacation. I needed to drive my RV around. It wasn't going to Burning Man, and I was starting to rent it out to make some money off of it, and so I needed to kind of like test drive it, get everything all fixed up. And so I did a mashup talk on the road. And so this is the exact same setup, and that worked. I was like in a somewhat not super remote area, but I couldn't hotspot off my phone. I had like a little T-Mobile hotspot thing, and it worked great. This is like my super fast Wi-Fi internet. I honestly don't know why the sync is so bad. I really, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna sit here and chit chat. This is it is now no longer Mashup Talk. This show for 2021 has been rebranded Weekly Meeting, because so many of you in the chat pod have kind of like joked that it's the weekly meeting. It sometimes sort of is. Half the time I'm just talking about shit. It's, oh my God, and then I'm realizing I did not change. Oh God, everything's wrong. Hold on a minute, you guys. I was so concerned about this that I totally forgot to change the title. Okay, so just chatting, and weekly meeting with Adriana A, Cribs edition. So that is what we are up to today. By the way, big shout out to Fox Sounds for doing God, why the fuck aren't you working? You're so annoying. I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. I'm gonna seriously, it's driving me crazy. I'm just gonna put you back to 100 milliseconds and see what happens. Okay. Huh. No idea what's going on. Well, whatever. Anyway, shout out to Sit and Spin. So Fox Sounds has been doing Sit and Spin on his own channel with the Dance Commander Disco, and I freaking love it. I think it's just such a great concept. You know, is it a DJ set? Is it a fitness class? Is it a spin class? It's all of these things, and so I've been wanting Fox to do it on our channel for a while, and I pitched him on doing a Friday, and so it's like the perfect lead-in. So we rearranged our Friday schedule a little bit. So yeah, as you can tell, we're going to start off a little afternoon fitness class, and then you're going to get me, kind of like your come down, your okay, we just exercised, or we just watched Fox Sounds and the Dance Commander Disco exercise, and now we're going to chill. It's the little chill part. Listen to me yammer on, and, maybe you like my voice. Maybe this is like the ASMR, Adriana, like just talk to us. And then DJ Airson is going to kick us off for our Friday night programming, dance party programming with happy hour, and then our usual like theme sets. Sometimes Airson does the theme, sometimes she doesn't. So it's always happy hour though. So anyway, that is our new Friday lineup, and I hope you guys are into it. I hope you're enjoying it. Let me just check on the. Oh my God, why is this not working? My mouse has been so not. Oh, I know why. Is it trying to connect to the laptop? No, it's not. I disconnected it. Nothing's working, you guys. Nothing is working. Yeah, I'm like hella disconnected. I can't even run my mouse. Ah, realness. All right, let's try this. Why is that not working? All I want to do is, disconnected for whatever reason. All I want to do is scroll through the chat and just see if I missed anything. Did I miss anything? Probably not. You guys are like, Mr. Beard Papa. Between the Cheeks with Adriana A, SF Cribs edition. Yeah, so this is definitely the Cribs edition. Okay. All right, so literally, the reason, like, I didn't know what I was gonna do. Like an hour ago, I was like, oh fuck, I've got the weekly meeting. I've got the weekly meeting in an hour. What the fuck am I going to talk about? It's like, oh, it's David Bowie's birthday. Today would have been his 74th birthday. So we are celebrating David Bowie's birthday all weekend. Tonight, Jupiter Gatling and I will probably go a little hard on the Bowie and Bowie adjacent artists that David Bowie liked, that he worked with, stuff like that. Same time period. And tomorrow, for Saturday, live from DNA Lounge, it's going to be DJ Dada. I thought it was going to be me. I'm back in San Francisco for 8 weeks, and I was really looking forward to going back to DNA Lounge. I'm like, yeah, I can DJ live from DNA Lounge. You know, they've been doing some live streaming from the venue. As many of you know, DNA Lounge is our San Francisco home. It's where we've been throwing parties there since 2006. So then the manager of DNA Lounge calls me up and he was like, so when are you flying in? And I'm like, I get in, well, it was supposed to be Monday. Then I actually flew in on Tuesday. And then he reminded me, he was like, so maybe you should wait 10 to 14 days before you come to the venue. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I kind of like totally spaced on that. So yeah, so it's DJ Dada for the Live from DNA Lounge stream on Saturday. And then DJ Lobster Dust also wanted to get in on the David Bowie's birthday action. So he's going to be doing like the little after party. So yeah, that is your weekend. Thanks everyone for being here, being part of the channel. And so anyway, I thought I was gonna like just talk about David Bowie and stuff, and then like literally I walked through the door. I've been like running errands. I hit the ground running. I'm back in San Francisco for 8 weeks to basically move. I got my artist visa in Berlin. I'm packing up all my shit here. I'm throwing it into storage, and then I'm moving to Berlin, and I'm going to ride out the rest of the global pandemic, the rest of the corona apocalypse. I will be in Berlin with Jupiter Gatling. But until that happens, until I can actually move, it's like there's a lot of loose ends to tie up. And so this apartment is about to get ripped apart. So then I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, you know what? You know what I should do? I should, before I rip this place apart, I should show it off. We should do a house tour. We should do like an apartment tour. Do like a little MTV Cribs style show here. And then I was texting with Doug, DJ Time, and he was like, yes. He was like, every time we had a guest DJ in town, even if you were not home, even if, you know, I was like maybe in LA doing, you know, our booty mashup party in LA, or I was in Berlin, or, you know, wherever. But, you know, I had my crew running the party here in San Francisco, and my assistant had keys. So they would always drag people over to my apartment, or even if I was here, he'd be like, hey, is it cool if I invite some people over? I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. It's an after party. This was the after party spot after our parties at TNA Lounge, and DJ Time would always love to be like, yeah, come on here, let me show you. See what this, you show this, and he was like, and he would do like a whole little tour, and then I'd be like, oh wait, no, here, let me explain, and you know, so yes, that is what we are gonna do. So are you guys ready? Oh, and DJ Time's like, always show the closet for the high heels. And yeah, CJ, grab the Galaxia statue. You are going to see the Galaxia statue. You guys are going to see all of it. Are we ready? Are we ready to do the weekly meeting with myself, Adriana A, Cribs edition? Let me see some emotes. Let's bring them up, and this is probably going to be the last bit where you see this not in sync. It's really out of sync, isn't it? It's pretty bad. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna do this. So I'm gonna be carrying this around. So I'm gonna turn this around, and it's gonna be like you guys. We're gonna totally do this MTV Crib style. So all right. So here we go. Let's see. So it would be like, oh god, this is gonna be so weird. I hope this. Let me make sure. Okay. All right. So this is the door. This is the hallway. It was like total. It was like The Shining. You know, you could totally. You know, it's like there are times when I'm coming home late at night drunk, and it's like I just want there to be like these two little girls at the end of the hallway. And it's like, Adriana, do you want to play? Come play with us forever. But anyway, you know that this is my apartment, because it has, God, you can't even really see it that well. It's a little dim in the hallway. But this is a pirate wreath. I had a friend, actually, our photographer. We had a photographer in LA for our booty mashup LA party. Our photographer Joe from Scene Snaps. He also works in a prop house, and he made a pirate wreath. This is not that pirate wreath. The original pirate wreath got stolen off my door, and some friends took pity on me and got me a new pirate wreath. All right, let's come on in. All right, so here we go. So this would be, there we go. All right, so you enter the hallway, and it is like, it's a long hallway. Long. This is not a long hallway. I mean, but it's long for these apartments. These apartments are not really big. But I have right here. Let's see here. So right here, it's sort of like a. I'm not seeing your comments, you guys. So I'm actually going to turn. Let me. No, I'm going to leave the chat pod. I'll leave it. So that's my first band. The band I had before. Here, let's do that. There we go. The band before Smash Up Derby, I was in a band called Blue Period, and yeah, there's me. That's also me lying on a sidewalk outside of the Cat Club. Cat Club is sort of like almost sort of a sister venue to DNA Lounge here in San Francisco. It's a little smaller, but got a lot of crossover between the crowds, between Cat Club and DNA Lounge. And at the time, my band spent a lot of time at Cat Club, and the name of the album was Nightlife Casualties. It was kind of a thematic, it wasn't a concept album, but it was definitely a theme album where all of the songs kind of related to nightlife culture, and like each song was sort of like a character from of someone you'd meet in a nightclub. So anyway, of course, here I am. Like I then went on to become a party promoter and event producer and DJ. So yeah, that art imitates life, imitates art. So then we move on to a series of posters. These are the various booty mashup posters from our parties at TNA Lounge. These are not the half and half faces. These are only Halloween and New Year's Eve, where we would commission custom illustrations using whatever the big pop culture moments were from the past year. So, and in fact, every single one of the current posters that are hanging up in this hallway, every single one of them, I believe every single one of them, yes, every single one of them was illustrated by Jupiter Gatling. So here we go, New Year's Eve 2017. You've got everyone who died. And there's Bowie right there. There is Bowie. Bowie and Prince and Carrie Fisher, George Michael, Dead or Alive's Pete Burns. There is a very, very, very sad story about this poster. This is the poster that I commissioned and Jupiter Gatling illustrated. And it sadly was never actually used, because my business partner, who was also my ex at the time, was like, "Oh, hell's fucking no, is your hot new girlfriend." She didn't say that, but that's what she meant. Is gonna, illustrate I'm sure it was an hour at that point. I'm sure she was like, my New Year's Eve party. So sadly, this got rejected, and but and actually at the time, I believe the time it got rejected, it only had David Bowie and Prince, and I think Pete Burns' Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive's Pete Burns, because if you recall, it was actually towards the end of 2016 that Carrie Fisher and George Michael died. So she actually added those later, and then we did like this little special edition. and just like I posted it to social media and stuff. So we got some usage out of it, but it wasn't the official flyer. But then then we got Halloween booty here. That's 2018. I'm sorry, did I say Halloween booty? I meant Halloween booty. That's from 2017. Oh, 2018. Sorry, 2018. And then New Year's Eve. This would be 2019. We've got, let's see here. Oh, yeah, Beyonce and Jay-Z and, let's see, Cardi B, Drake, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, and I love Surprise Pikachu, because that was the big meme at the time. And then this is Halloween, not this past year, but this would be Halloween 2019. So Billie Eilish, that was her big breakout year. So sorry you're getting the reflection. God, is there anything I can do about that? Here, let's see here. We are going to do that. Let's get rid of the white here. So it's ridiculous. I'm gonna have like really strong arms from like holding this laptop the whole time. So let's see, Taylor Swift, Lil Nas X, and Billie Eilish as the girl from The Ring. The Ring? Yeah, The Ring. And then New Year's Eve 2020. Do you guys remember New Year's Eve 2020? It was going to be the best year ever. 2020. We're living in the future. It's going to be awesome. And we had an amazing New Year's Eve party. And there it is. Who do we got here? We've got Lil Nas X and Lizzo. And then in the back, the Gen Z in the house with Billie Eilish and Greta. And I'm pretty sure it's like they're drinking. Did we? Oh, yeah, we did it. Oh, so this is like a little Easter egg kind of thing that like nobody would know except for us. But okay, so you can see here. There we go. Okay, so trying to get rid of the reflection. Well, you might have to deal. Anyway, Lil Nas X and Lizzo are drinking champagne. But of course, Billie Eilish and Greta are both, teenagers. So we couldn't have them drinking champagne. So we have them holding red cups, which is, such a, like a high school party, college party type thing. But also, fun fact, at DNA Lounge, if you are drinking a non-alcoholic beverage, they put it in one of these red Solo cups. So they are holding red Solo cups. If you can barely see that. So, and and then of course the meme of the year was of course that one. And this was also a little bit of an inside joke where it's NYE 2019, NYE 2020, because there's another club promoter here in San Francisco, also does parties at DNA Lounge, does Hubba Hubba Review, which is our burlesque show. His name's Jim Sweeney, also known as Kingfish, and he's always like, so like this past New Year's Eve, which was, just a week ago, he'd be like, this is New Year's Eve 2020, because it's actually December 31st, 2020. So it's actually New Year's Eve 2020. And I'm like, no, it's New Year's Eve 2021, because it's the New Year's Eve, it's the eve of 2021. It's not the New Year's Eve on. So anyway, it's this whole like you say tomato, I say tomato kind of thing. So that's and when we kind of had like a whole little social media back and forth right before this poster came out. So that's why I had to put that on there. And God, can't it. We're gonna get out of here anyway. I'm realizing there might be a lot of glass reflection on this tour. So the next thing, so that's the fun stuff. I'm going to kind of skip over this part a little bit, or zip through a little bit. So the other side of the wall, so you can see, it's like one side is booty mashup posters, and then, my old band. And then the other side, there's a very famous music venue called the Fillmore. And these are all Fillmore posters. If anytime they had a sold out show, they would make custom posters, print custom posters, and give them away at the door as you're leaving. So I've got like here the Go-Go's from 1994 with Bikini Kill as the opening band. No Doubt, saw them at the Fillmore in 1996. Gary Newman, Switchblade Symphony, Fisher Spooner, La Tigra. And now keep in mind, I have a zillion of these posters. I mean, maybe not a zillion, but I've got like over a dozen. So of just various shows I've been to over the years. So I kind of rotate through these. In fact, if you open these up, there's actually probably several layers of Fillmore posters, and so I'll rotate them. Every 6 months. Yeah, usually about every 6 months, because what would happen is with the Halloween and New Year's Booty Mashup posters, I would update those. So usually when I'd update those, I might like switch a couple. It's like, I'm sick of this. This band. Let's see the poster of another band. So all right. So now we're coming into the apartment. We've got a ginormous bus shelter. This is actually an advertisement. It's not really an ad, but it's from. I got this literally from. It's a bus shelter poster. Gannett Outdoor Group, which was they sold advertising at bus shelters, and they did in the 90s. Let's back up so you can really see it. In the 90s, they did a public art campaign called Turn Your Mind Inside Out. And they commissioned various art photographers and fashion photographers to create work for these bus shelters as a public art project. And I loved it. This is like around 92, I would say, 1992. And my coworker called up the bus shelter company and managed to score these posters for free. He was like, "Do you want any?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So he just like brought a couple, and so I have two of them. One of them is in my Airbnb, and then this one I kept. I had this in my office at work when I worked at a gay and lesbian newspaper for many years. This was hanging up. It's a little ragged around the edges, but I still love it. So now here we are in the about to enter the apartment proper. So, but before we do, I'm going to swing this around and show you something that's very near and dear to me. It is, let's try to get the reflection. God, oh, there we go. Okay, do you see what this poster is? This is actually, I kept this poster and didn't really think much of it, and it wasn't until years later when this poster really started to have a tremendous amount of significance for me. It says, "Mash Up Your Boots" meets Booty. And what Mash Up Your Boots was, it was a small club, really small, like more of like a bar night. But it was a mashup party in Berlin, started by DJ Morgoth. And the very first time I ever went to Berlin, met up with DJ Morgoth and Dr. Von Meow, performing as A plus D, live from San Francisco. So yeah, it was like Berlin meets San Francisco, April 26th, 2008. And 2008. And now here it is, 12, almost 13 years later, and I'm moving to Berlin. And I've been back and forth. My girlfriend's from Berlin. I've been back and forth to Berlin so many times over these past 13 years. But this wasn't just like my first time in Berlin. Like April 26th was my first day in Berlin, April 26th, 2008, because I remember we got from the airport, basically went directly from the airport directly to the club and sound checked and then DJ'd, and then after we DJ'd, then we went and crashed at one of someone we had just met. DJ Morgoth had a whole little crew of people working, so we stayed at Posse's house in Friedrichshain, And this club is also in free design. At the time, it was the U5 Club. U5, U5, U5. And which is, it's still there. It's under a different name. And it's literally like a 15-minute walk down the street. It's on the same street that Jupiter Gatling and I live on. So, yeah. It's like you've been keeping it in the neighborhood, like ever since I've been coming to Berlin. Okay, so we are going to enter the, see where the magic happens. So this is the apartment. This is, and you know, let's just walk. Let's. Are you guys sick? By the way, I'm sorry. I don't have a steady cam on the laptop. But anyway, let's just get right to it. Let's go to the view. Here we go. We are. There we go. Okay, I can't see the screen at all now because of the light reflection. But this is the view from the balcony of beautiful downtown San Francisco. And you can see, I don't know if you can see down there, there's the homeless encampment between the library and the Asian Art Museum. San Francisco has traditionally had a fairly significant homeless problem, and the homeless problem has gotten much, much worse since the global pandemic started. But, you know, I can totally understand. Here, I'm going to set this down for just a second. Oh, God, because of my arms. I'm like holding it the whole time, right? I mean, let's face it. If you're homeless, you could do a lot worse than landing in San Francisco. We have great social services in the city. It's never super, super hot, but you know, it can be warm, but it never really gets super cold. Like, it gets chilly, but it's not like New York or Boston or Chicago or something. It's not, we don't get like a real winter here. So, like, if you're homeless, San Francisco's great. You can walk around everywhere. It's not like LA, because you'd be like, oh, why aren't there more homeless people in LA or San Diego or something? It's like, you need a car everywhere in LA and San Diego. You need a car to get anywhere. Public transit sucks. Our public transit, I mean, people bitch about our public transit, but compared to the rest of America, San Francisco's got like pretty great public transit. You know, it's like the only city that's got better public transit really is probably, you know, well, Boston and New York. But you can get further on our public transit system than Boston and New York. New York's definitely got, you know, the best public transit system in America, but it's completely falling apart because it's run 24/7, and they've never been able to fix anything because it's always on, you know. So whoopsie. So that is why we have a ton of homeless people here, and people have issues with it. I never have. You know, it's it is what it is, and I'm definitely, I know, like, when a lot of tech people moved here, I'm like, oh, God, so homeless. You know, I was like, God, people need to be starving artists for a while. Oh, okay, speaking of tech people, do you see this? You see that? That is the Twitter building. That is the Twitter building. That is their rooftop. Now, normally, around this time of day, there would be a bunch of people sitting on that rooftop having lunch. But yeah, the building's closed. So, I mean, I'm sure they've got like a skeleton crew or something. But you know, every tech company everywhere, everyone's working from home. So anyway, so that is the view here. I'll just, didn't see you there. There's my mannequin. Better view of her. Yeah, I've got a mannequin on the on the balcony. I have all sorts of random things. I've got a high heel shoe chair, which really should not be out on the balcony exposed to the elements, but I was going to throw it out, and I put it out on the balcony just to kind of get it out of the apartment, and it just sort of ended up staying here. Yes. Yeah, 7 years later, it's still here. I haven't thrown it out yet. Um, it's falling apart, so it's a little wobbly. Then I've got like these cool design chairs, which I love. Here, there we go. There. Uh, uh, so I love these chairs. All right, let's go back into the apartment. I can't read the chat. I have no idea. I have no idea if this sounds good. I mean, I'm assuming you guys can hear me. It seems like the sound is okay. I hope nobody is vomiting from the shaky camera movement. I'm doing what I can. It's, if this were really MTV Cribs, there'd be a whole camera crew with steady cams. But instead, it's me lugging my stupid laptop around. So this is what you get. Sorry. All right, are you guys ready for a little bit of an art tour? Here, I'll show you the living room. So this is, let's try to keep this thing steady. So this is basically the living room. I love this IKEA sofa. I love this IKEA sofa because it pulls out into a queen size bed super duper duper easily, like much better than those, like those crappy little mattresses that like all fold up inside. No, this just like slides out into a bed. I've had so many guests stay here. I've had guest DJs. It's like DJs from Mars. At least one of them slept on this sofa. I've had what else have I had? I mean, God, so many DJs. The Kleptones. I can't even name them all. But anyway, a ton. Let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the this little art. This is sort of like this is the showcase. This is the showcase section of the art. This is my favorite art, and the collectible stuff. So here we go. Freddie Mercury, beautiful piece of there we go. A beautiful piece of Freddie Mercury artwork. But really, the artwork is only there to be in support of this microphone. This microphone that is signed by Freddie Mercury in 1985. Signed Freddie Mercury microphone. And I got it from a place in Las Vegas. Jupiter Gatling and I were in Las Vegas, and there's a music and sports, really, even though they started focusing on music. I mean, they started with music, but now it's like a lot of sports memorabilia too. But anyway, it's called The Art of Music, and I believe that's what it's called. And they basically sell signed shit from rock stars and musicians. And then, like I said, now they also have sports figures too. But even though it's called The Art of Music, the way they package and present whatever's signed, it'd be like an album cover signed, and then they like put it in a display, and it's like total like high school yearbook layout design. It was really bad. So I was like, can I like just send you guys something? So I dug around, looked around. I think I got this off of like Society 6 or some. I mean, basically just dug around the web looking for like a custom illustration of Freddie Mercury, and I found this and I bought it. It was like maybe like $30 or something, and I sent it to the place I bought this microphone in Vegas, and they put together the whole thing with I sort of designed it, and then they put it together. So with the whole microphone thing. So yeah. And then this is, there we go. Hedvig, okay, so here's the deal. Oh God, why can't I'm gonna figure out, there we go. So Hedvig, that Hedwig poster. This was signed. It still is signed. It's just that the one that is signed is not here. It's hidden away. In fact, it's probably just underneath this one. The reason is because, as you can see, this room gets a lot of natural light. And even though this is UV protective glass, UV protective plexiglass, it's supposed to like block out 99% of all UV rays. 99% still means that 1% of UVs are getting through. And 1% over a long enough timeline starts to fade all the colors. So I have multiple copies of this particular Hedwig and the Angry Inch movie poster because my band Blue Period, I showed you that was like the first poster I showed, did several movie release parties for Hedwig and the Angry Inch when the movie came out in 2001. Hey, let's get the band with the trans singer. So, the glam influenced rock band with the trans singer. Hey, me. So I had, and they'd given us a sign, and then also at the time I was running a glam rock themed party called Glitz, and so the movie company had given us signed posters. John Cameron Mitchell signed Hedwig poster to give away as a prize. And we had like a Hedwig lookalike contest, and nobody deserved to win it. Like, it just, it was like, I was like, no, you were winning a poster, but I'm going to keep the signed poster because I deserve it. And I stand by that. I deserved it more than anybody. But I took down the signed one because it was getting a lot of sun damage and it was really faded, and so I put this one in instead. And also this one this was like a special print. It's got like this glitter, like it's expensive. Okay, now speaking of sun damage, this is the one that it's pertinent to today because today is David Bowie's birthday. So this is a prize as well, and that is signed David Bowie poster. Let's see, really, it's sort of not signed all that great, but there you go. Yeah, you can see it right there. It says Bowie. So this was before he died. This was whenever this Best of Bowie compilation came out, which I believe was around 2000, 2001, 1999. I don't remember. Anyway, here, there we go. So the story with this poster is I won this poster. It's like, okay, I just told the story about how I was such a bitch, and instead of giving away the signed poster of Hedwig, I kept it for myself because I was the club promoter and I was a bitch. The Bowie poster, I won this in a contest at a club. It was like looking for the most glam rock person it was a nightclub called Ballroom Blitz, and it was a glam rock themed club. So they did a Bowie prize package giveaway, and the record company provided them with the DVD of the Best of Bowie and signed poster and all sorts of shit. And of course, first prize was this signed poster along with a bunch of other crap. And it was for the most glam rock person in San Francisco. So here's the story. My friend Brian calls me up. He was in town. He'd already moved to LA. Our friend Brian is actually part of the reason we were able to do a party in LA is because we had a place to stay for free for like so many years. So shout out to Brian. I love you. But I'm sorry about this story. He calls me up and he was like, "Hey, Shindog," Shindog's the promoter, mutual friend, is he's doing Ballroom Blitz tonight. You want to go? And I'm like, "Oh, fuck yeah!" So he comes on over and he looks decked out. Brian's kind of gothy and looks pretty good all the time, but this time he was really decked out. He was like glitter on the eyelids and like his eyebrows looked amazing and just like hair was jacked up a little bit and like silver lipstick and and a long like fur coat, and he just looks decked. And I was like, oh damn, you look great. And I'm just wearing like my usual club clothes. At the time was probably like some glitter stuff. I was always representing my band, so I was like pretty glam rocked out anyway. Big crazy hair and glitter and all that stuff. Like feather boa or whatever. And we go, and I was like, why are you all decked out anyway? And I was like, oh, and then we get to the door, and it's like, glam rock contest, Bowie prize package. I was like, you motherfucker. Like, you didn't tell me because you didn't want me to get all super decked out and show you up and win. Well, of course, I entered this contest anyway. Who is the most glam rock person in San Francisco? Me. I won, and I have this signed David Bowie poster to prove it. And then, here's the sad part. This poster, I had no place for it in my apartment at the time I won it. It ended up in storage, and it wasn't until I moved here in 2013. I moved in this apartment in 2013. I started digging boxes out of storage and going through shit, and I'm like, I want to like kind of inventory all my artwork and all my posters and put them up. And I was like, I've had this signed David Bowie poster this whole fucking time. I totally forgot about this. Oh my fucking God. I'm such an idiot. So, yeah, there we are. There's that story. What else do we have here? I've got some neon. I love this neon. Literally, I bought this neon on the street no, that's not true. I bought the neon. I didn't buy it. The neon was a gift. A friend of mine, I don't know, he was a photographer's assistant at the time, and I was like, on some shoot, and like, anyway, he just randomly ended up with some neon that he didn't really want. And he was like, hey, do you want some neon tubes? And I'm like, sure. Neon's cool, but I had no way to plug it in. It was literally just the neon tubes. And this is like this weird San Francisco kismet energy. Literally the next day, on the sidewalk, outside my apartment, there's a sidewalk sale. People sell shit on the sidewalk all the time. There was this right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a transformer box for neon. Like, what are the chances? Who's selling transformer boxes for neon tubes out on the sidewalk? Like, I bought it for $5 or something. I was like, the most random things. I mean, it was like, oh, it was the 90s. San Francisco in the 90s. I'm sorry. It was kind of a magical time. It really was. It was before the whole, like, tech industry takeover. It was like so many artists and kooky people living in this city. It was really quite special. But anyway, I mentioned my band earlier. Here we go. We're gonna this right here is this is the award for best rock band in the year. What year is it? There it is. 2000. We won the Whammies, the Whammy Award, Best Rock Band, and instead of like a little trophy or like a plaque or something that they give at an award show, the SF Weekly that sponsored the Whammies. I think it was the last time they called it the Whammies, and then they changed it to just the SF Weekly, Music Awards. So for bands, DJs, performers, songwriters, all that. So we won Best Rock Band in 2000. Local heroes, national zeros. But anyway, I got the lamp to prove it. Yeah, cute little books and stuff. Oh, here we go. Just, it is David Bowie's birthday. Got like the pocket Bowie wisdom, little book, and I know, you guys know I'm or maybe you don't. I'm a bit of a classic gamer. I literally have right here vintage 1977 Atari 2600. And check this out. This You're like, I've never seen that cartridge. It's not E.T. It's not Pac-Man. Like, what the hell is this? This is actually a custom cart. It's got a... stick this on the floor. It has a little SD card where, like, you could put every single Atari 2600 video game ever made, stick it into this cartridge, and that's how you hook it up to your computer, because you can download all the ROMs. You can find them on the internet. And I have literally like 800 different games for this thing. So yes, I've got an Atari 2600. I've got a Sega Dreamcast, little mini Nintendo NES here. It's got hardwired built-in games. And because I'm not a complete Luddite, not totally retro, I've got a PS3, which is going to end up over in the Airbnb. I figured I was like, ooh, added value for those gamers. Vinyl collection, vinyl and books and vinyl, and oh, look at this, a turntable with the DNA Lounge slipcover. This is the logo of DNA Lounge, and they made vinyl. What do you call these? What are these called? Just I want to say, this is basically the turntable slip cover. So, yeah. And now I really want to, like, I know people who know me are probably like, why aren't you showing the ET cartridge? Okay, everyone. Y'all know what this is? Do ya? Let's get that. There we go. E.T. E.T. from, as you can see, it's a little crushed, from the landfill, from the New Mexico landfill. I bought this from the city of Almagoro. I think they actually, where the hell is it? Anyway, the city in New Mexico that had it buried in their landfill. And even better, I got Howard Scott Warshaw, the designer of E.T., to sign it for me. And he was also the designer of a game called Yar's Revenge. So he signed it Yar's Truly. Yar's Truly, Howard Scott Warshaw. So this is definitely like, that is the prize of my Atari 2600 collection. A failed video game that was sitting in the ground for 30 years. Ridiculous. Yeah, so I definitely like the class. I'm definitely a retro gamer. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to be grabbing an Atari joystick and a USB Atari joystick dongle connector, so I can play, and I'm going to stream Atari games on our Twitch channel while playing 80s mashups. That is going to happen in a couple months when I'm back in Berlin. So, yeah, like I have a, there we go, classic arcade cocktail game. It's got, a bunch of games on it, like 60 games. This is also I'm moving this to my Airbnb as well, because that's the kind of thing Airbnb guests would love. Got some classic gamer artwork here. What else? Let's see here. This is where the magic happens. Like right here, it's the desk. This is normally where I'm live streaming, computer, and here we go. The Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity, people. There we go. Prince, Bowie, Freddie Mercury, totally right there. And this right here, these are calendars that Jupiter Gatling actually designed. That's Jupiter Gatling on a pole for January. That's me dressed up as Harley Quinn for February, and that's one of her shoes. And this calendar is filled with like inside jokes. And she knows I'm a big Taylor Swift stan, so these things are all like little Taylor Swift references, and they relate things that happened in our relationship that month. So I'm a little private. I share a lot, but they're not going to share every little detail. This right here, this is one of my favorite pieces of artwork. I put this down here so I can show you guys. So this is, I'm going to put this up. This is a globe. So the globe I bought from a friend. He's an artist and he does collage work. And he went through this series where he chopped up a bunch of old maps and then put them together. And mostly they were like, you know, they were just flat. They were flat maps. And they were all like collage style. That's what he does. He does collage, but he did like a series that was just maps, map collage. And but then in the show, he had this one that was a whole globe. It was a globe. And when you travel a lot, this is sort of like how the world works. When you're traveling, it's just sort of like this blurry, pixelated, not sure where you are. Like, you kind of got a basic idea, but you're a little confused. So I love, like, this summed up travel. And then I decided to mod his artwork, which I never told him that I did this, but I bought it. It's signed. I bought it. And I put red map pins in every place that I've been to. And by been to, I mean I have to have, like, spent the night there, at least. And, like, not in the airport. You know, yeah, like, actually get out and see shit. You know, even if it's just seeing one thing, just, like, there I am. So there it is. These are, yeah, all different places I've been in my life. Obviously America is pretty well covered. South America, it's only, oh wait, that's Australia, Southeast Asia, Europe's getting pretty full. And then South America is only like 4 different places. But and then a couple places in the Caribbean. Oh, Iceland. So yeah, I love this thing, and I miss travel so much. Oh. All right. What else? I know we're running out of time. This went way. Should we do this again? I'm realizing this was only like part 1 of the house tour, and there's so much more that I can show you guys. Oh, like I haven't even shown you the bedroom. I haven't shown you the artwork in the other hallway. I haven't shown you the artwork in the bedroom or in the bathroom. There's cute things like this, like, oh, you know, my cool, cheap knockoff of the famous egg chair by, who is it? I want to say, it's not Eames, because that is not an Eames chair. I want to say Sarian. Or no, Sarian, I think. Yes, oh, Arnon Jacobson, thank you. Now I'm looking at my computer again. Anyway, I'm sorry that I missed out on all the chat. I'm actually probably going to watch this later and be like, oh God, this is horrible. I'm not doing this again next week. But even though a bunch of stuff's probably going to be, I'm definitely going to start packing. The artwork and all that stuff is still going to be on the wall next Friday. So should we do this again? Should we have, like, because I know I'm realizing I'm very long-winded. I mean, of course I have a just chatting show on this channel because I can talk, and there are stories and stuff. So, you know, a lot of the things in my home, a lot of the, you know, the pieces of artwork, the posters, the random objects, they're here because they have a story, and oftentimes that story does relate to Booty Mashup, because Booty Mashup's been in my life for the past 17 and a half years, and or music related and stuff like that. So if you guys want, yeah, let's do it. We'll do this. We will do this again next week. So next week's weekly meeting will be the Adriana A. Cribs Edition, Part 2. So thanks everyone for being here. Hopefully I will work and experiment now that I know that somehow this is out of sync. I'm gonna fuck around with that and see if I can fix that. I appreciate you guys coming along on the house tour with me. I love. This goes both ways. Like, I love interior design. I love architecture. I love decor. I mean, I guess other people do too, because there's a reason why MTV Cribs was such a successful show for so long. You know, you want to see how people live, and so even if it's someone I don't know, but if they've got like a cool looking house, like I want to see the artwork. I want to, like when I stay at other people's Airbnbs, I'm often like texting with the host, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's a cool picture above the, you know, above the sofa. What's the deal with that?" So, and I love it when guests do the same thing um, at my Airbnb, because I've got a bunch of artwork and stuff over there too. So, anyway, all right, thanks guys for being here. It is now time for the party to start. I'm going to be prepping up my David Bowie set, changing into a David Bowie shirt. I'm sure DJ Ayrton might drop some Bowie a little bit here and there, but myself and Jupiter Gatling are going to be going hard. It is David Bowie's birthday. He would have been 74 years old, so we are going to celebrate the life and music of Bowie. And it is time for happy hour. So, ooh, you know what? Shoot, let's not make the same mistake I made, where I didn't have the correct title. Happy hour with DJ Erson. Okay. God, I hate it when I fuck up the titles. It's like such an easy thing to forget, but I still feel super stupid about it. Okay, there we go. That's done. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to text Erison and take the Anki dress off, Ricky. Don't ruin the dress. Oh, Jupiter Gatling. That's not an Anki dress. That is a falling apart Patricia Field gown. Oh, anyway. I'm just all right, I love you guys. Erison, where are you, Erison? Erison. Okay. Here we go. All right. I love you. Thanks for coming to the weekly meeting, and I will see you guys next week, but actually, you'll see me DJing some Bowie stuff in 3 hours. Ciao.